Check this out. 6 congressional staffers were arrested for protesting in Senator Chuck Schumer's office, demanding that the majority leader restart negotiations to pass climate legislation. Now, here's the question. Okay, so they were in the Capitol, shouldn't have been there. Are they going to face charges? Or are they going to be like Stephen Colbert's staffers when they trespass and they'll get off scot-free? Let's bring our panel back. Ted, you've been on Capitol Hill many times. What do you think is going to happen?
Nothing. I think we all know that nothing's going to happen.
Right.
Again, it's public protest, and I don't have a problem with public protests, and they shouldn't be arrested. But I think the hypocrisy of the Democrats, the hypocrisy of Nancy Pelosi and Chuck Schumer knows no bounds. And this is just one more example of that, where their people can do whatever they want and get off. But if anybody that is a political opponent does anything wrong, then all hell's going to break loose and they need to go to jail.
Melanie, I want to shift gears a little bit. Some woke news to get to. According to their guidelines for student gender identity, Montgomery County's public schools in Maryland, which is right outside Washington, D.C., a gender transition plan for a student at school should be designed without the knowledge of the student's family if the family does not support the student in the chosen gender identity. What are your thoughts there?
That is pretty common practice. I think that it is complete. My mother would lose her complete mind if a school tried to do this. And I think it's completely ridiculous. I don't understand where public educators get off thinking that this is okay. Who signed this legislation? Who said that this was all right? This is just absolutely not okay.
And you're an educator, so you know the relationship and how important it is, how the school works with parents, how they educate the kids, and you know, they're the parents' kids. And you know, there are a lot of great parents who would want to know information that they would be hiding.
It's supposed to be a partnership. Our jobs are to educate on the subject matter, right, not to get involved in students' private sex lives, right, quite honestly.
Right.
None of us went to school to get involved in a student's sex life.
Of course. Of course.
That's just, we are educated in our subject matters.
Yeah.
Not to get involved in student sex lives. And certainly not to, speaking to Ted's point earlier about us being Christians, there are plenty of teachers who are Christians, and what you're asking teachers to do is lie to parents. That's not something we're in the business of doing.
And what bothers me, Ted, and we've got about half a minute, is how some of these decisions could be very permanent at a time they're going through a lot of changes.
Very permanent. And this is why I think that the public school system has lost its way, and why I will never vote for a tax increase for public education until we get vouchers and allow competition to come into the system. Because right now, the public education system has no accountability to the parents, no accountability to the customers. And that's why they're able to pull all of this kind of immoral junk and push it on the American people without the parents having any say in it whatsoever.
Ted, thank you to you and to the Gipper behind you. And Melanie also, thank you so much for being with us today.